is up, gang? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hope everybody's been doing well. It is a random Tuesday night, 2 days before the new year ends, or the 2025 ends, I should say. But I hope everybody's doing well. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. Just from taking a break from all things comic related, kind of checked out a little bit. I am still reading, but yeah, it's just been busy with the holidays and football and all that stuff. But I am really excited to be back, at least for this episode here, and going live because we are talking music tonight. We've been doing this once a month almost. We're talking Ghosts, their album from 2022, Impera. If you guys curious, anybody that's either tuning in now or watching the replay, if you guys have ever heard of Ghost before, or if you took some time to listen to the album, what you think, leave it in the comment section below. But yeah, normally we talk comics on this channel. Today we're talking music, and it's not just me, it's my co-hosts and good friends John and Noah. Bring these guys on right now. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, people?
Yeah. Thanks for squeezing in this this last episode of the year. I thought this would be a good way to close the year out, and until we get into the 2026 and keep this show going. I just want to say I appreciate you guys doing this with me, because I'm it's been a blast, and I know it's only been we'll be on like episode 5. I gotta put episode numbers. That's what I gotta do. I think we're on episode 5 now. This is my second.
Yep.
So no, it's been a lot of ton of fun. If for those watching, if you guys are not already following John and Noah, make sure you do so. I put their information in the description below. Definitely hit them up over on Instagram. Noah's got a YouTube channel as well. Sub up to that. And yeah, if you guys don't already know, the three of us just we introduce albums to each other, things that we think the others will like, along with any viewers will like, from different eras, different genres, all across. We cover everything. So we've just been kind of taking our time, going one album at a time, and mainly because the three of us got together and we're like, hey, we all generally like most good music, and so I think we should start a show. Is what one of the three of us said, and we all kind of were like, yeah. So here we are. I'm so excited to talk about Ghost tonight. It is one of my favorite bands, and I'm so curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the matter. And of course, I'll do a little bit of a breakdown or explanation of things, but let's say a quick load in the chat, and then we'll get into it. We got my man Kenneth Bird hanging out. What's going on, Kenneth? And Noah running the show back in the chat and on the screen. So I mean, I don't even know where to start, because like I can kind of give a brief description, or you guys want to share your thought, like high level thoughts first to kick it off. What direction you want to go with this?
Before we get into it,
I
want to talk a little bit about the last album.
Okay, let's do it.
The video that you sent me really helped me understand that album better. Awesome. I have listened to it a few more times.
Yep.
And it really helped. And it made me think about this album. Like, do I want to dig into it before the show or not? And I chose not to.
Okay.
Just listen to the album at face value.
Love it.
Because I figure, all right, you're going to present things, and I don't want to know those answers before.
Sure.
Like I want to be introduced to them. But I did see, I saw Ghost. I don't know. They were opening up for Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When was that? That was
that was 4 or 5 years ago. It was before this album.
Okay.
And I thought, yeah, they're a good opening band, but they didn't jump off the. I didn't go home and say, oh, hey, I need to check these guys out.
Yeah.
And actually, you picked this album, but I've been getting the feed for they're coming to Mohegan Sun at the end of January.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the show, and I'm like, man, this looks like a good show. I keep looking at ticket prices and stuff going,
Yep.
Do I, it's a weeknight, and it's not easy for me with work, but it does have me interested in possibly seeing them again.
I think you should do it, John.
For concerts.
What'd you say, Noah?
I said weeknights are tough for concerts.
Yeah, they are. And I actually talked to Lady No Good about it. So she's become a diehard fan of Ghost. She didn't know Ghost until I had kind of introduced it to her as well. Over the last probably 3 or 4 years, and it's been like an instant like favorite of hers. And so we now pretty much we try to see them anytime we can, and we try to see them multiple times on tour if we can. That's how much we both love them. And so the tour that they're doing in January is a continuation off of what they wrapped up in this year. And they picked like basically a retouring again, but doing like the similar
the smaller venues usually.
Yeah. So we thought we were trying to go to. We were actually just talking about it, but I don't think unless they give us free tickets, which sometimes they do. But I think this will sell out.
I know somebody that works at Mohegan that does that.
Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. That's right. Yes, you told me about it. Yeah. So I mean, if you can get out there, I would say totally it's so worth it. I understand though, like you guys said, like the weekday stuff is tough. And for me, I'd be coming from Jersey. So I mean I'd have to stay at night at least, meaning I'd have to, take the next day off and everything else. It's just like a lot. Driving up there. But it's cool to hear, John, your background. I remember you mentioning a little bit about, at least seeing them live. So which is really cool and probably and very opposite of what most people would, being introduced to a band or going into this album would be like. And jumping over to Noah, like Noah, give me a little bit of your back. Like, are you familiar with them? Have you heard of them before, or is this your first time like just diving in altogether?
Oh yeah, this is the very first time I ever heard them, listen to them.
It's cool.
Your last album and this album, you introduced me to bands I've never even were on my radar. So cool. It's really cool, and I did enjoy this album, but we'll get into that.
Okay, yeah.
Talking more about it, but it was a cool experience, and I can imagine that their live, performance is probably phenomenal from listening to this album.
Yep. Yeah, they're like very theatrical, and I mean they put on a show. Yeah. Well, cool. Like I said, I'm excited to hear more of your guys' thoughts, and we'll go through some of the songs like we usually do. And by the way, just to note, John, I'm glad that you listened to that or watched that video that you mentioned about Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I have to drop that like in a link or something so people can also watch if anybody, or at least back on that To Pimp a Butterfly video that we did. I agree. Like even for myself, like I learned so much more because of that. So I'm glad that you took the time to listen to it. And I think about that too. Like, do I want to like research a little more ahead? Lately I have, just because I'm like so eager to just like, Google the hell out of each band and all this other stuff, like the ones that you guys introduced me to. But I think it's good that you didn't research this one, because I have some cool things to share about it. So
yeah. One of the things that I've heard, that's about all I can say is I've heard about Ghost. And I think it probably turned me off a little bit about them, is that the lead singer is kind of like the guy, and then he hires all these guitar players, etc., and they all wear masks, and they don't get to say, hey, I'm in Ghost, and that's always been a challenge for me. I've heard that about other bands that I really like. Filters, one. And then, I think it comes back from being younger. And we talked about Boston, a few weeks ago or a few months ago. And, Tom Schultz was Boston. He is Boston, So it's like I'm starting to get my head around the fact that, as a kid, I would buy these albums and you're thinking, oh, this is the band. It's like, no, this is the guy that really did all the work. These guys filled in, they're hired guns, whatever you want to call them, So I'm trying to get past all of that. Like, hey, there's one guy that is kind of the band, and these other guys, so that I think probably when I saw them live, I had heard that and I was kind of like turned off by it. But now as I get more and more acclimated to the fact that there are these people that, hey, the band is named this, but I'm the mastermind or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I am starting to open up to that concept, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's very interesting. It's a good point, and yes, it is true. So Tobias Forge is essentially the creator of Ghost. I don't know what the agreements are or kind of how he's formulated this whole thing with everybody else, but anybody, for those very unfamiliar with them, anyone that joins the band is basically all they're known as is the Nameless Ghouls. That's all they're known as, Nameless Ghouls, and it's almost become like it's like almost it's like a play into Ghosts. Like it's like it's like you know what you're signing up for. So if you sign up for this, you're not shocked that you're supposed to be anonymous. It's like part of the gig or whatever. So it's not he's not like doing it in any mean way or anything like that. But that I don't think even for a while he didn't even reveal himself. It wasn't until like 3 or 4 albums in that he actually revealed himself.
I think when I saw him, I don't think he had revealed himself.
No, right. Oh yeah, and he won't during shows. I mean, he always wears masks even during the live shows. Yep. But even interviews and everything, he would stay in character and legit. Like I don't even know how that works. Like I guess his managers set the tours up because even the people that worked at each vendor didn't know like who government name, didn't know who was performing per se, at least in the beginning. It was very mysterious, and that was just kind of part of the fun that they
think Kiss started that.
Oh, there you go then. Yeah. So good.
It is definitely weird that you see, even though the singer announced himself like even 4 albums later, though, when you're first coming out with music, it's crazy to think that like, oh, I don't even know who I'm listening to. Like I know the band, but I don't even know who's associated with it. It's definitely a weird concept, but one that, like John was saying, it's kind of getting used to, I guess. The more I listen to this album, it's like, all right, like unfortunately I can't look up who's playing the guitar because it won't tell me. So
right. Yeah, and there's definitely been stuff like leaked over the years as far as like there are definitely clearly names that have been confirmed by Tobias Forge who used to of players that used to be in the band that are no longer. I think at this point the only thing you won't know for sure is the current members, whoever the currents are, and that probably does change. And look, I mean, I know a lot of other. I mean, I think about like I'm a big John Mayer fan. And I mean, clearly he's a one-man show, right? But when he goes on his tours, he has a ton of band members. Not to say they're anonymous, you can look them up and all that stuff. But I guess in some ways it's kind of like that. It's just like Boston. It's like all in this one guy's head. And he's like, I just need help getting it down on tracks. I need help performing it, that kind of thing. So it is a different style, but it's been going, I mean, Boston obviously been around for years. So it definitely is a style of artistry that's been out for a very long time. And similar to Avantasia that we had talked about, because Tobias, another Tobias Sammet, he is that band. So, but I do find that this guy, Tobias Forge, is another musical genius, type of guy, like just like from a writing standpoint blows my mind with what he comes up with. But a little more of a background is that other than the fact that he basically it's Tobias Forge. Oh, by the way, I was going to mention that one of the Nameless Ghouls in the past was actually Dave Grohl for a little bit. So just a side note, I think it was only like a handful of shows because Dave Grohl apparently is a massive Ghost fan. And there's a lot of them out there. I found out that what's his name? J. Scott Campbell, the artist, is a diehard Ghost fan. And so for those who don't know, Ghost has blown up so much now, probably compared to you've seen them, John. Yeah. And the fan base that comes to these things, they dress up to the fullest with face paint. The girls are like nuns. The guys are like dressed just like the singer, like all these different things. A lot of them wear the masks that the Nameless Ghouls wear. Almost everybody's like dressed up. Like when I go, I feel so underdressed. When Lindsay and I go, and we're like every year, I'm like, all right, this year I think I might paint my face, might get to that level. But it's cool because like going live to see them, you'll have people out in the parking lots like offering to paint people's faces, like kids and families and like tons of people that go. And the other interesting thing is, I call this a metal band or rock metal band. It's kind of what it's been a genre of gothic. I guess you could throw that in there, but it really does pull from all fandom, like the crowds that come to this thing. There was like last time we went, we just saw them twice a couple of months ago, and we went and we were in Philadelphia, and there was like a couple of moms, and then there was like a bunch of teenagers, and then like a sorority group, and then like us, and then like it was just like a mix of like random people that you wouldn't expect, to
That's
be
funny.
at a concert like this. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. So other than that, I did want to mention to you guys that the band in general, they do like the lead singer is known as Papa. So there's like Papa Emeritus is like the character that he's created, Tobias has created, and they go through iterations of Papas through the years. So right now they are currently on Papa 5. When this album came out, it was Papa 4. Now, the difference, it's the same guy, same singer, and writing and all that stuff. But the difference is the characters he's created like change. So it's like they're passing on the torch in a sense, and they look a little different. Their makeup's a little different. The way they talk might be a little different, or act on stage is a little different. But when I tell you like the theatrical side of this stuff, like he is so dedicated, or they are so dedicated to this story that they tell, and this like whole thing that they created of these characters, multiple characters that they've created, that is what it is. And he's been known to like mid tour, one show, like he'll pass on the torch and it'll go from Papa 1 to Papa 2. That was like years ago. That was like, I don't know, whatever, 2015, 2014 or something like that. And it was like at some real low, small venue, and it was very ceremonial. Like it was very much like, church and bells and all the different things that they have there. And they play into this whole thing. But anyways, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of that as well, just as far as like, they technically change the character that sings each time, but it is the same guy. The other thing is the masks that he wears, up until Papa 5, all of them have been like full masks. I don't know what you call them, like a silicone or whatever texture, and it's like creepy, but then he has like makeup on top of that. So for a long time, like it was almost weird to like tell like if he was even wearing a mask, and he looked much older. The masks were older. And now he's actually like trimmed down to where he only has like a front face piece, and is like you can see more of his real cheeks and everything underneath,
down here.
Yes, yeah. And so and he actually did that. He explained that he actually did that more for I think, did we just lose John?
Uh-oh.
Or is that me? Did I get
I don't see him. I'm still here, I think.
You can hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I didn't know if that was on just mine. Okay. We'll see if he jumps back in here.
Yeah, hopefully he comes back.
Yeah. I mine's gone out like that before, but usually both screens are out, but you're moving still, so I'm like, okay, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. We're good so far.
Yeah. I'll give him a second, see if he reboots, or maybe his I don't know if he was on his phone tonight or if he was using his
not
laptop.
Sure. That is so cool though about Ghost and how it's like ceremonially through the albums like pass on the torch. I never knew that. I'm actually, like John was saying before, I'm glad I didn't go deep into this band beforehand, because that's actually really cool. And the cover art of this, I'm assuming, is a Papa.
It's like the character in a sense. I actually have brought, so this is the like the special edition version that I got for Lindsay, and as you can see, it's like a bigger box. It's got a nice like thing on the side here. It's the extended version, and it's got like a ton of extras. And like I was gonna see if I can open up a part of it, because I wanted to see if it would like let me see if I can just open a section while we're giving John a second.
Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know they did that. I also didn't know how big this band was until I read just the description on Spotify. Like, there he is.
Hey, John.
Hey, I don't know what just happened, but everything just went blank.
It's all good.
Hey, we've got some high winds and stuff going on, so.
Yeah, so do we.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't go out next.
Yeah. I thought it was me at first, because I just saw John's screen. But John, I was just showing off this is like a special edition album collection that I got for Lindsay. And this was vinyl collection. I just took it out of the box. I was gonna show you guys like a glimpse of it, because Noah mentioned the cover And the original cover is of Papa. I won't go through all this stuff, but I just wanted to show you guys, like, there's all this extra stuff that comes along with it. Oh yeah, there's like, I guess one of the main album there. Cool. I'll have to like take pictures because there's like, oh yeah, there's a poster. There's like these other. There's like a little bag of stuff in here. Yeah, there's a lot. So I won't
snort it, do you?
Not. I don't. I mean, not that I know of. Not yet.
Pre-concert.
Yeah. Here's a little sample of kind of what some of that stuff looks like.
That's cool.
What gets me about these guys is they remind me of bands like Kiss and Maiden, like that have a like a big merchandise.
Oh yeah,
thing behind them.
Yeah, right. Almost like collectibles and like. Oh, by the way, this was a Spotify collected edition. This was like something that I caught my eye from Spotify. Like they had a deal just with Spotify, and it was selling through there. It was $200. I mean, it's kind of kind of pricey, but that was
cool though.
Yeah, that and I say that because like keep an eye if for any other bands or artists that you follow, Spotify might do a thing for them if you're ever like looking for stuff like that.
I have seen those, for other artists. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've almost bought stuff before.
Yeah,
not yet though.
Eventually. Anyways, this is I like I said, I'll take pictures of it later, and there was a ton of stuff in there. So anyways, this album, and sorry if I'm like, I feel like there's a lot to tell about this album, so sorry if I'm just like rambling here, but the other thing, I just looked up like a little more detail about the actual album, Impera, the like influences behind it. So essentially what this particular album is about, and I should say actually before I get into the album, they very clearly are revolve around like satanic devilish kind of vibes, right? Everything that they're kind of, some of the stuff, the things that they sing about, and the things that the lyrics and everything else. And I know for some people like they wonder like, oh, are they like a satanic band, or like what is their message or whatever. And it's really not the case. He does use like the devil in ways of like this character that he's kind of built, or like uses like the idea of him, and some would say maybe like a mockery of it, or I don't even know if mockery is the right word, but
that's traditional metal.
Well, that yes, that for sure. Yeah.
I definitely got those vibes, even more so because the actual like logo for the band has an upside down cross.
Yeah. It's much more than what you're saying, John. Though, like I get like the devil horns and all that stuff. A lot of it based, on like the dark side of things. But they like in their lyrics are very upfront about the devil, and like their lyrics are about the devil, in many ways. But he, I've watched like interviews with the guy, and he's not satanic or anything like that, but he's certainly not Christian per se, but he grew up in like going to church and all that other stuff, and was not for him. So I think that kind of played a role in the direction that he went with things. But anyways, the album itself, technically it was influenced by a book called The Rule of Empires by Timothy Parsons. It's basically about the rise and fall and failures of empires is what this particular album is about. So that's, I think, where I'll kind of leave that description. But you guys want to get into some of your thoughts on this? I can, Noah, I'll throw it to you. I guess let's start high level, and overall, what did you think? From any perspective, you can.
No. Even before you said that description about the album, I definitely got the feeling. I couldn't pinpoint every song that was talking about it, but I think in the very first song they were talking about empires, and the whole album too. Impera, I think of imperial, which is empire. Yeah, so I already kind of was concluding to that, but I unfortunately, with the whole craziness of the holidays, I didn't listen to this album as much as I wanted to. So man. I wasn't able to just like listen to it over and over and over again. But from how many times I did listen to it, I definitely got those tellings about that's what this is about.
Yeah.
This, I definitely picture this, like we're saying, it's a very theatrical band, and I could tell, and I can totally see, like, I was just picturing as I'm listening to this album, like, this would be like any of these songs would be like a good like soundtrack to like a movie, like an action movie, like something crazy's happening, and it's the power chords and the in your, not in your face, but like just the intensity of some of the guitar riffs and everything. It was just giving, power, and I could see it, something crazy happening in a movie. I don't know, but
Right.
yeah, no, it was cool though. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I definitely had a good amount of songs that I liked. There's a few other ones I was like, kind of kept going with it. But the more I listened to this album, though, the more I liked it. It was definitely one of those where I had to continuously listen to it over and over again. And then, overall, though, I really did enjoy it. And I think, John, you said you were enjoying it a lot, too.
Yeah. We the drive to Cliffscon's an hour and a half. And my friend Dave came with me, and he used to own a recording studio, so he's got a master's in music, and he's a piano teacher and stuff. So I always bounce these albums off of him to kind of give me a little bit of insight.
Is this the guy that you had told us about last time, John?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, I told all my friends, I'm like, we saw these guys open for Iron Maiden, and they were all like, yeah, we thought they were okay, but and I said, I really like this album. Like, this album is far better than what I remember. And it was funny because as I started listening to it, the second song's Kaiserian, and I know I've mentioned that I'm thinking about retirement, and I'm like, there's a lyric in there. It's the sound of another deadline whistling past your ears. It's the sight of a million regrets mounting over years. And I'm like, is Justin trying to tell me something?
You need to hear this, John.
Yeah, you need to. That's
This
really,
album is
honestly,
perfect for
when
you.
I heard that, I thought, Justin's trying to say, hey, you need to hear this, man. But really, I saw Noah on Sunday, and I said, man, I'm really liking this album. I mean, it's pretty consistent all the way through.
Yeah.
The songs are different enough that they're not boring. I mean, as I go through it, like, the song that really sticks in my head, and I find myself just singing it. I'll be walking through work, and I'm almost like, did I sing that out loud? But it's Call Me Little Sunshine.
Okay.
I do like that song too.
Just,
yeah.
That whole call me,
As soon as that song comes on, I instantly start thinking of the lyrics of Little Sunshine. I'm like, right. Yeah. It's a very catchy song.
I love
it really is.
Yeah.
So,
and then Darkness in the Heart of My Love.
Yes.
Is really, it's catchy, but I'm like, that's the song they have for the women. That I'm like, I was
dude, I love that song.
I was going to metal shows when there were no women in the concerts,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Bon Jovi and Def Leppard and those guys start coming out, and it's like girls start coming, and I'm like, yeah, Darkness in the Heart of My Love is because I can't think of her name, and I don't know if you guys follow her, but she's on Instagram. She's out of the Buffalo area, and she and her husband are big into Ghost, but they're comic book collectors.
Oh, from the comic community, yeah.
Yeah, and I cannot think of her name for the life of me because I've been off Instagram for a couple months, but.
So, yeah, John, let me tell you, this band probably has the percentage of women fans compared to men are tremendous for this band. Just so you know, they pull in a ton of women for this this band itself. Very much more than any rock and like any more than any like gothic metalish, rock band.
They're not Rush.
No. It's yeah, no, quite opposite. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, they're I mean, again, if you go to a show or even if you watch a live, of a show and just see the fans that they show in the crowds, I mean, I don't know, man. It might be like 60-40 or something like that. Close to it. But
yeah,
I'm glad you brought that song up because I love that song.
Yeah, this style of metal, I guess, it's not like, what's a good word to use, like as heavy or as hard as like some other bands can be. And I can kind of see now why that would appeal more to everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't want to call it like more poppy, I guess. Yeah. Or like pop metal.
But they are catchy for sure. And I could see that kind of being thrown around to some degree. I think the thing that still keeps them away from pop is the themes of, again, Satan and everything else, that they're not as, they're not like Lady Gaga or something like that, but yeah, I mean, for sure, it's definitely not as like more into like the hardcore stuff or things like that from a vocal standpoint, especially.
No, Noah, you're not a big metal guy, right? You were saying you were hip hop and country, right?
Well, no, I mean, I'm into rock. I'm not as deep into metal as I definitely know Justin is. The last two albums that you've had us listen to is probably the most I've listened to for a while. Like, I don't go too deep into it. So yeah, this is like the most exposure I've had to it. So it's good though. I'm enjoying the stuff that's been introduced to me.
Nice. We will go heavier at some point.
Yeah. I can't wait. Let's do it. I'm ready.
So John, you had mentioned Darkness at the Heart of My Love. I had seen them play that song live. It is one of the most beautiful songs I think that they've ever written. The other one you said to Call Me Little Sunshine is probably the hit from the biggest single of the album, followed by Spillways was another one.
Spillways was good. Yeah,
Spillways was good. Yeah, I want to put it in my personal top. Like, it would be maybe like the top half of the songs for sure. Yeah, definitely Call Me Little Sunshine is definitely up there. Honestly, Kaiserion was another high one up there for me too. It's just a good opener. Yeah. Speaking of opening, actually, I actually noticed this the last listen through was I like how it has the same. I think it's the guitar riff. It
beginning
it
in the
starts
end.
In the beginning, and then it ends with the same thing. It's kind of it keeps it nice and like
the
closed.
Theme. It's like the theme,
and I really like that though.
And it's catchy,
like a project. It is, yeah,
yeah, dude. That little melody I love. And when I saw him the first time, it was actually in Connecticut. It was at the Hartford, whatever center. It used to be a baseball.
Is it XL Center?
No, it's like a health center or something. It's own. I forget. It's big. It used to be a baseball center, or it used to be a baseball stadium. They turned it into just, for performances and music. But I can't think of the name of it now. It's in Hartford. Anyways, I saw them there first, and this is when that album was coming out or just came out. It was 2022. So they opened with that intro. So they basically went into track number 1 and track number 2, Kaiserion, together. And that was like, if you picture like the crowd going nuts when Kaiserion, the guitars come in and everyone, like the crowd's just screaming and going crazy. So like that, to me, I always have that envision in just stuck in my brain whenever I hear that song, is just that whole opening. So I almost always have to listen to track 1 into track 2 because they just, to me, they go together. And then, like you said, I'm glad that you picked up the ending because I love that last song too, by the way. And hearing that ending kind of go through the end of it, like pick back up that melody. It's cool that you caught that because it was a cool idea for what they did.
Yeah, definitely. It keeps it like a nice, beginning and end, and like it keeps it as like
rounded off.
Kind of circles back and and closes it. It was cool. Yeah, I definitely appreciated that.
Yeah,
I do like that dual guitar ka-chunk ka-chunk in Kaiserion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they are a rock band.
Yeah,
and like when being an old timer here, we're always talking about like how is rock dead and things like that. And I sit there and these guys, they're they're keeping it alive.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And especially since the fact that they're playing, I don't want to say they're not playing stadiums, but they're playing large venues.
I mean, MSG, they sold out back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
That's pretty large.
Yeah.
I would definitely say that rock is not dead. Not to any degree. It may not be as mainstream as it used to be, but there are as many bands like those.
What you just said there, Noah.
Alive.
Yeah. What you just said there. It is definitely, that is, I think, exactly the definition of what it is now. It's not mainstream in the way that it used to be. Yeah. Now there's a lot more pop and dance and hip hop that kind of are more considered, in that vein of poppiness. And I actually kind of like that, because I don't like to just be the fan of the most popular thing out there. Like I like to discover stuff on my own. I like finding stuff that no one's ever heard of before.
Yeah.
And again, not to say that Ghost definitely has a massive following, but I've
never
to your
heard
point
of
about
before.
there you go. And to your point about rock, just in general, I think that the way you just defined it there is spot on. Because there's some really, really great rock bands and rock albums that come out every year. I just saw Rolling Stones just released their top 15. I don't know if you guys saw this. Rolling Stones every year they put out their top 15 top 15 favorite metal bands of the year. And Ghost, not this album, the album that they just came out with this year, came up number 3 on their list, which is a big deal. I mean, they're taking all rock and metal, and putting it into this list, and it came up as number 3. So you guys should, if you like this album, you're going to love the next album. So I highly recommend, and hope, if you haven't already, give that a try as well. Cause
I definitely need to listen to this one more. Yeah. I need to solidify this album into my library, because I am liking it just with every listen. It was one of those, I know, John, you were saying it before, how it was very, it was kind of the same theme throughout. And through the first listen through, because I wasn't used to it yet, it was like, all right, it feels like almost all the same. But the more you listen to it, like you were saying, it's different enough to where you pick up on it. And they have the different songs and, different riffs and everything like that. Where it definitely, the more I listened to it, it differentiated the songs more from each other, which was really nice. So I definitely want to listen to this even more to help solidify it in my head and get my favorite songs out of there. I
hope you do.
Yeah, I will. I need to.
I'll tell you what, and I know this is probably more or less our intent every time we're introducing an album to each other, but I truly hope, or I'm hoping, that this band becomes one of your guys' favorite bands. I just think they're that good. And and I know that can mean difference for anyone, different tastes and everything, but I just generally think that you guys will love it. I mean, I know you guys like it. I think you'll love them, and we'll continue, listen to them for a long period of time, and hopefully we'll all go to a Ghost show together one day. But that's my hopes. Is like when I showed you this, I'm like, man, I hope you guys just fall in love with this stuff. And again, definitely, good to take time and go through your processes. Noah, you said you didn't get to listen to as much as you wanted to. I hope, again, for me, anytime we're doing these, I'm trying to, my number is 7, try to get through the album at least 7 times before I make any judgment at all. And that's a different number for everybody. I know John from John's Albums for Kids, he gave this a shot. I think he only listened through it once, and he had some interesting comments about it. But I would, and if he's ever watching this again as a replay, I would urge him and anybody else, if you've only listened to it once, you got to give it more chances than that.
It definitely needs more listens.
Any album. Yeah. That's any album.
It is.
Anything deserves, it's just like trying food for the first time. And as a kid, sometimes you need to try things multiple times before you, I used to never drink bourbon straight like this as a kid. I would think it was disgusting. Now it's my favorite drink. It's just stuff that you have to acquire sometimes,
your taste buds change as you grow.
Exactly. And that's the same with your
ears
music and everything else. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And a little bit, not to divert the topic too much anymore, but when we're talking about, introducing bands to each other and albums that that kind of go under the radar, I can't wait to just get deeper into recommending stuff and start pulling out albums that you might not have ever even heard before. So
yeah, dude, that's why we do this show, man. That's why we do this show. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm excited to hear what you have. John, you look like you want to say something. What's on your mind?
No, I'm just listening. No, I mean, thinking about the songs and stuff like that, there weren't many songs that I thought were weak on this album.
Yeah.
You know, I've got them listed here. And, you know, I think probably Bite of Passage at the end, again, almost like Boston did, they put the slower songs at the end.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I liked Hunter's Moon. I liked Watcher in the Sky. I liked 20s. I liked, you know, I just.
So can I say something about the 20s real quick?
Yes, go ahead. I was going to say, I'll add to whatever you're about to say.
The beginning of that song, I can't help it. And this plays into the more theatrical part of it. It reminds me of a villain song from a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that. Yeah.
Like,
sure.
I couldn't help it thinking about that. Like, man, the beginning of this song sounds like it's pulled straight out of like, all right, this is the villain's first song in like a Disney movie.
Right,
and then, but then it cuts and then it gets into those power chords and it's hard. It was like, that was cool. Yeah.
You're right. Though. It's definitely a different song compared to a lot of the others. It's like upbeat. It's almost like dancing, that type of song. And I'll admit, like out of all the songs on the album, 20s was the last song that I could get on board with out of all of them. And it took me a little while. And even seeing them live, I'm like, wow, they're playing this song live. Like, I just feel like this is like the weakest song on the album. I'm surprised that they're, and now just because I've listened so much, I love it. It's just as good as everything else. Like, I'm just always listening through. But there was a time where 20s was the song I would skip. If there was ever a song that I would skip, it was that song amongst anything else. When I was first kind of, giving this go through, because I thought it was like silly, but it kind of is like, it's like a satire. It definitely has. And a lot of these songs, some of them anyways, has some like sarcasm to it, or like a level of satire to it. I think that, it's like they're on purpose taking the devil too serious. And in that way, it's funny. You know what I mean?
Was that song, you probably have more knowledge about it than I do. Was that song about like the 20s that we're in? Like, because it was talking, I think from what I was listening to, it was talking about money and like living and things like that. So you might know.
I think it referred to more so in the now. I have to look up again, like kind of the background to it. Oh yeah, it's a satire take on societal excess, political opportunism, and the cyclical nature of history, using the roaring 1920s as an analogy for the hopeful but chaotic start to the 2020s, warning that prosperity often precedes collapse, like the Great Depression.
Yep.
Yeah, I was trying to debate. I was like, is this talking about the 1920s or is it talking about now? So that,
kind of comparing.
And then it talked about going into the 30s. So that's what made me think about now. So, yeah, definitely an interesting song for sure.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's the melody's like, it's kind of beat bop, like catchy rock, but it's like dance almost. It's a little different than everything else.
It is, yeah.
But no, I definitely. Yeah, I appreciate the song a lot more, and they play that song live a lot. 20s is actually
interesting.
Yeah.
There was another song that you mentioned, "Watcher in the Sky." That was actually one of my favorites too.
Watcher in the Sky.
Yeah. I like the beat, or not the beat, the rhythm in that one. That was a good one.
The chorus is catchy. Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead, John. Were you gonna say something? Sorry.
No. I'm
sorry, I totally interrupted about the 20s.
No. The Call Me Little Sunshine I was going to mention is on their top, most listens based on Spotify numbers, is number 6 on their list. Just so you guys know, and number 10 on their list is Spillways. So those are definitely two that I think fall under the kind of more or less the hits list. Based on fans in general, or number of listens. Again, that's Spotify, but I think that still speaks volumes. I had sent you guys both 2 other songs to listen to at some point in our group chat. If you haven't already, just at some point give those a shot, because I would say that you guys, if you haven't listened to anything else yet, there are 3 other songs, probably 4 other songs that are like are just must hear songs of Ghosts that I just think you're gonna love and appreciate. So and might turn you even more into a fan than where you're at right now. So,
well, it's funny for me. I mean, I can't say that I'm a modern metalhead.
Yep.
I grew up with Priest. I grew up with Maiden, stuff like that. And like even my buddies, they'll be like, "Hey, let's go see Maiden this year." I'm like, "Man, I've seen them 4 times. I'm done." You know? And like
right.
I sit there and I go, I've tried to listen to the new stuff and I'm like, it doesn't hit me like, maybe there's nostalgia to the old stuff and that the new stuff doesn't hit the same. Like I'm not invested that way. So for an album to hit me like this new to hit me like it did, I was impressed. I mean, this of all the albums we've listened to, this was probably my favorite album. I mean,
wow.
Boston is Boston. That was
sure. That's like
Yeah,
automatic up there.
Yeah.
But I mean, of the new stuff, I mean, and you guys have introduced me to several new albums.
Yeah.
This was the one that I enjoyed listening to the most. I try to listen to each of the albums, at least 10 times.
Yeah.
It's good. And I mean, like the Kendrick Lamar album, after I enjoy it much more now after watching the video that you sent.
Yeah.
But because I understand it better.
Sure. And same here. I felt the same way. Yeah.
But it's one of these. This album, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to go see him live. I kind of, this is pretty cool, Yeah. So, to your point, I might end up going to see him live, Justin, and listening to them more and more. It was just, it kind of hit me different. I'll just say that.
Great. No, I love it. And what you're saying, that's awesome. That speaks volumes to me, man. Like I totally hear you in that, you've been, I mean, you've been on this earth longer than the two of us have. And so your experience with
almost
music
combined.
maybe. Actually, no, that's not true. That's not true.
How old are you?
I'm in my 20s still. So
yeah, you are.
I'm not almost in my 40s.
No, actually, I'm thinking about it. I've been on Earth more than both of you combined.
Well, anyways, but the point is, and because I hear what you're saying, like, obviously you've grown up and you're so familiar with the songs you've listened to throughout your life, and especially the nostalgic vibe, I think hits you even more so. Going back to the things you've listened to since you were a kid, I think that you saying that this stands out to you in the way that you just described, at least to me, speaks volumes as far as kind of what in other words, I hear what you're saying. I think that the way you just described that, I believe that this really hit you in a way that, again, I hope that's great. I'm glad to hear that, and I hope that you do get to see them live. If it's not this time, they're going to be around again. So either way, and like I said, I'd love to see them live with you at some point, since we're both on the East Coast here. Lindsay and I, we travel, so we went to Philly to see them. We saw them at MSG, and we want to get up to Connecticut if we can't. If they're up there again, I mean, I love that place, so I'll be up there eventually at some point with to catch them up there. But
yeah, I'd be totally down to see them live. I probably couldn't. You said they're coming in January.
Yeah, it's like late January, I think.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't do then. But next time they're around, though, let me know.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's another thing too. I think live, at least for me, like there are definitely some bands where like I kind of liked them, thought they're okay, and then the minute I saw them live, I just like fell in love. Like I just like I'm like, yep, like they're a top band for me now. Like I get it, like like it's just obviously just doesn't do it. The album sometimes can't do it justice for some.
No one needs to see a band that puts on a show.
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah,
Well,
No,
not as many, but Greta puts on a good show.
No.
Who does know?
Greta
you haven't.
Yeah, I would love to see them live.
I've seen Rammstein. I've seen Kiss. Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Have you seen Kendrick Lamar, Noah?
I have not.
Okay, because that would.
So
he's on my list. Like, I want to see him live.
I want to see him bad. Same with Tyler, the Creator.
Dude, this is a side note. I'm glad you brought him up. I have seen
Tyler, the Creator.
Have you? Oh man, I'm jealous.
I saw him with his previous band.
Odd Future?
Odd Future.
I'm jealous.
That's awesome. That's so random and awesome. I love that.
Yeah,
I was gonna tell you, Noah, over the last 3 weeks, I've gone down this rabbit hole of him and just listening to the latest album. Have you listened to the new album?
Of course. I've listened to, I think, all of his albums. Yeah,
okay.
I think I've listened to all of them.
So I randomly just listened to this album, and it's a short album. It's like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
I have listened to it like close to 50 times. Like, it's got to be up there right now. I know like every word, every song now. Like, I love the album. Anyways, I haven't really dove into like his stuff in a while. So I wanted to tell you that, not part of this conversation per se, but
I love that though.
Maybe we'll have to have that be one of the albums at some point.
If you haven't dived into the rest of his discography, please do.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's definitely one that you can binge his albums for sure. Yeah. There's tons of artists that I've done that for, and he's him being one of them. But yeah, I think this next year I plan on going to multiple concerts, and I think I already have 2 lined up. So. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I have one in February right now. Opeth and Catatonia. They're going to be
2 things
in here. Yep.
Anybody in the chat we need to hit?
Nope. Kenneth was still hanging here. I think he's still hanging. Appreciate you, Kenneth.
All right. And then we need to rate the album.
Yes. So I'm going to pass it to you guys first. John, you want to go first?
I know we don't normally, it's on a 5 scale, right?
Whatever you want. I've been doing 10, but whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think we've been doing 10. Yeah.
Is it 10?
We've been doing 10. Yeah.
All right. I would give this. Yeah, I guess we're doing a CGC scale, right?
Not even.
Yeah,
it was just 10 out of 10.
I don't think we're doing 0.5s or anything like that.
Yeah. Solid numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I would definitely give this one a 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just find myself singing it a lot. I really like this album. I do.
I feel like I saw that coming. I know in our group chat and then even in person, seeing it, like, man, I really like you were lit up when you were talking about it in person.
Yeah, dude.
Man, I like this.
You're right though. Even in the chat, like I was like, oh man, we're gonna get some good reviews from John here. I can't wait.
Yeah.
No, I love that, John. Love the 9.
That's awesome. Yeah. For me, I definitely need to give it more. I would say from where do I want to put it? I want to give it it's between like a 7 and 8 for me. Only because I feel like I need to listen to it even more. But I feel like the more I listen to it, though, I'd probably give it a solid 8. Like, there's a lot of songs that I would definitely add to playlists and things like that. So, I'll stick with that.
I liked the orchestra type overtones.
Yeah.
Okay. But I like this album better than the last one that Justin recommended.
Oh, compared to
I do as well. Yeah. I was going to say that as well, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, it's like
the previous one.
This album seemed to be, I don't know. Like I said, that last album gave me, like, I couldn't listen to it all the way through.
Yeah.
This album I could listen to multiple times through.
Yep.
Yeah. This one was shorter too, which made it an easier listen. It made it more digestible.
Yeah.
I think. And I feel like there was a lot more catchier songs. I don't know. I think the metal opera over theatrical metal, there's definitely differences to it.
Yeah, I'd say I don't think they're like apples to apples per se. The music, but I get from your descriptions as far as just like what you felt through the albums. Yeah, I get that. No, I think
they definitely are similar, but I will say I think I did like this. It was easier to get into this one, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Is what it was. Yeah.
Cool.
The other one was great though.
So I mean, I'm gonna go, and I mean, we don't do halves. We usually don't do halves. I'm gonna have to give it a 10 then, because that's just where I'm at this point. So and I probably, in the first like year or the first few times I listened to it was probably a 9. It just continued to grow on me, and now it's just like, yeah. I think for you, John, especially, it'll be a 10 at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it is like probably the first metal album that I've listened to in a long time.
Yeah.
That I'm just really kind of enjoying. Like I like a lot.
That's huge. That's huge, man. I love that. I love to hear that. And look, a 9, I mean, an 8 and a 9, like that's up there. The way I take it, anyways, that's up there.
Yeah.
So,
I would say I'm more of like growing into an 8, but I'm just going to give it an 8 now because I know I'm going to listen to it more. I'm going to like it more.
Listen. When the minute you said you didn't get as much chance to listen to as much as you did, I understand. Like I totally understand. So you take your time with it, and give us an update, Noah, at some point, maybe by our next show. Let us know if you listened to any more, and you can adjust
for sure
your grade from there. You're gonna come back. You're like, guys, it's a 10. It's a 10. It's absolute perfection. Yeah.
I listened to all their albums. Yeah.
You never know. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for doing this with me.
All right.
Or listening to this particular album with me. I'm glad.
Yeah, good
happy
pick.
that you guys liked it. Yeah,
good pick.
Yeah.
All right. I have our next album.
I was going to ask. Yeah, you're on the docket here. Do you want to share that now?
And I've been bouncing it back and forth between a couple in my head.
Okay.
But we've not done any female singers.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Right. All right.
So it came down to 2. I was thinking Blondie, Parallel Lines.
Okay.
Or Garbage, Bleed Like Me.
All right.
And I think I'm going to go with Garbage, Bleed Like Me.
All right.
Because Noah was joking that we shouldn't call music garbage.
Right.
And, Justin knew a little bit about them, but,
Yeah, not that much, though. Yeah.
So I'm thinking this will pull us into the late 90s, early 2000s style.
Sweet.
Female vocalist and just more a straight ahead rock, 3-minute, 4-minute song type band. And though Bleed Like Me wasn't their best, I'm not expecting you guys to come back and say, hey, this is a 9 or a 10 or anything like that. I'm not. But I'll bring some things like don't do a deep dive into it. Just kind of listen to it, and I'll bring some stuff next time. Some links and things that bring them about. But yeah, Shirley Manson. I think she's just she's a powerhouse on stage. I love her. I sent you guys a video. If you get a chance, watch it. Again, that's 20 years ago. So,
yep.
But yeah,
amazing.
give us something a little bit different.
Yeah, I am in
another thing I've never heard of before, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and I just looked up the year, so it did come out in 2005, technically.
Yeah. Bleed Like Me came out in 2005, but Garbage started in the 90s.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, and their bigger hits are probably in the 90s.
Cool.
This was an album that I saw them do a live show on YouTube or whatever. I think it was in Scotland. I'm not positive, but it just. And then I've actually seen them play in Boston. Maybe 10 years ago, and it was the smallest venue that they had played in like a decade, like since they started.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, I saw them. There were like 350 people there.
Oh wow.
So, but
cool
that's the challenge for next show.
I love it. That's a great way to kick off the new year. We'll figure out a day. I assume in the next like 3 weeks or so, we can put something on the calendar. So for anybody watching or catching a replay, we'll announce. We'll figure the date out. In the next week or so to figure out when we want to do it. But yeah, we'll aim for sometime in January. I assume we've been pretty good at least doing one a month, or at least every 3 weeks or so. Yeah. So hopefully we can keep that going. Real quick, I wanted to highlight Lady No Good is in the chat. She watched this whole thing. I think she was one of the people.
Lady No Good. All right.
So she points this out. She said there is a movie that came out. It's called Right Here, Right Now. Right spelled RITE, from a religious side of things. It's the film that they had put out. Ghost had put out, and it was it came out, I guess, early this past year, maybe I don't know if it's 2024, maybe end of 2024. We actually went to theater and saw it, and we saw a bunch of Ghost fans that also went to the theater, and it's like a live performance of one of their tour shows mixed in with some like theatrical, like pre-recorded stuff as well that is actually filled in the show. So like when he steps off stage and the band is switching from one song to the next, it shows him coming off stage doing like funny stuff. Basically, it's like a funny fill-ins, but basically he's, the people are like changing him for the next song and all this other stuff. And he's like, "Am I ready? Can I go out? Like, is this? I gotta get back out there. Like, where's my this? Where's my that? Like, all these different things." And it puts on a really entertaining show. So if like at some point, if you get to the point of like, I need more Ghost, that Right Here, Right Now,
definitely check that
show.
out.
Yeah,
okay,
that's worth checking out. I think. I don't know where you could stream it now. I'm sure. I don't know where, but you can stream. It's it might even be just on YouTube or clips of it or something. But it was it was released in actual theater. So her and I went to watch it. So Lady No Good, good call there on mentioning that movie before we wrap up. Cool. Any final thoughts? I know it's we're hitting the 8:30 mark. We appreciate everybody who's either tuned in here or watching the replay. Oh, she said she bought it on Prime. Okay, so you could get it on Prime if you want to see it there.
Okay.
Anyways, any final thoughts here from anybody?
Nope.
No.
Hey,
just Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And
be safe.
On.
Yeah, enjoy the hopefully everybody gets some time off and kicks off the new year right. John, feel better. I know you're dealing with a little something. Hope you and the family feeling good by the new year. So keep listening to some good music, and all right, until next time, we will talk to you.
Thank you guys.